Drew McIntyre trolls CM Punk with a lovely Jack Perry photo. Plus, we have an update on CM Punk's WWE contract status, and we have a major WrestleMania update. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling News right now. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. Look at that. Drew McIntyre and Jack Perry being bezies.
Is that Jack Perry?
Yeah.
I thought that was a small child with a fake beard. He looks so funny next to him, doesn't he?
Oh.
So, like, Drew looks like a wrestler and Jack Perry. No disrespect, I like Jack Perry. He doesn't.
You need someone of a middle size to stand between them, and then you've got that classic UK comedy sketch.
Yeah, like Hornswoggle. Put him in the middle, and then Jack Perry's going to look bigger.
So this took place last night on Drew McIntyre's Twitter. He shared it with the caption, "It's a real photo. Cry us a river." This is obviously a reference to that thing that happened in Wembley that time.
It certainly is. The photo was deleted just a couple of hours after this happened. I assume Drew got a call, but the question is, who was that call from? Was it from WWE? Was it from Punk himself? Do you think that maybe he thought he crossed a line? Because Drew has been relentless on Twitter. He's been absolutely amazing. But was this a step too far? Pure speculation.
Well, it seems, I don't know, because we've had Colt Cabana mentioned, we've had the all-out press conference mentioned in the past.
Yep.
So I don't know whether it is. Well, Worked Wrestling say that while Drew McIntyre deleted his photo with Jack Perry, there is zero concern for any backstage heat. McIntyre and Punk are working closely to craft their feud, and all references to past AEW or backstage issues have been given the green light by Punk ahead of time.
Well, there you go, but I don't know on this one, because the fact that it was deleted, hey, maybe the deletion is part of the hype process for this. Maybe he wants us thinking, oh, somebody's upset about this. Punk, maybe that's it. Maybe it's like, oh, Punk thinks I've gone too far and I've had to delete it. And then we want to see what Punk does next. Tune into Raw, right? Maybe that's part of the marketing process. I think this is really, really funny, because essentially he's just used some AEW talent there as a prop for a WWE feud. That's mental in itself.
It's a wild time that we live in. But if you haven't seen the picture, obviously the whole world has seen it now. And Kenta put it on his Instagram story with a little picture of himself in the top right corner.
Fantastic.
Love Kenta for that.
I feel like Jack Perry should post it now. The fact that Drew's deleted it, get those retweets, Jack Perry.
Jack Perry should post it, but make himself bigger. Just go in paint and just do stretch. That'd be a lovely time. The idea, of course, of seeing a WWE and AEW guy in the same place at the same time, one can salivate over such things. In fact, Tony Khan was on the Rich Eisner show, and he talked about like the possibility of how he feels about an AEW WWE Super Show.
He did. He said, I would love it if that were possible. I don't know that it is, but it would be great if it was possible for the fans. I think that would be wonderful. But there are a lot of challenging business things in the world of pro wrestling that I think would make that a very challenging thing to do. I think really we're past the point of forbidden doors now, aren't we? Because we see so many of them opened. It's not really a thing. We're seeing major companies working with other major companies. The only real, to me at least, forbidden door in North American pro wrestling is WWE and AEW working together. I think there's a lot more in it for for AEW than there is for WWE. So I think it's incredibly, incredibly unlikely. But this is pro wrestling. Never say never, right?
You never say never to anything. The fact that CM Punk is in a WWE ring, something that this time last year would have still been somewhat unfathomable. And in terms of Punk's status, there's been a lot of conversation about where he stands with regards to WWE. It was Ibu of Wrestle Purists who said that, according to his reports and his sources, Punk wants to stay in WWE forever, and he's renegotiating his deal to get a Terry Funk-esque run for the company. Wrestling Observer, however, saying that the renegotiation is taking place because he's coming to the end of a short-term deal. Fightful Select adds a little bit more meat to this bone.
They were told by WWE sources that Punk's deal isn't up imminently, and that the company approached him about the possibility of expanding the deal as business has exploded and there are more elements that can be worked in.
There was some speculation that injury time is being added to his current deal because he's wrestled like on 2 live events and at the Rumble. And it's weird to think that he's been such an integral part of the product, but he hasn't wrestled since January.
No, he hasn't, but he's been working, hasn't he? He's been on commentary, he's been doing promos, he's been all over the place on programming and behind the scenes.
And Fightful Select say that according to their sources, people close to Punk are quick to note that Punk hasn't stopped working despite the fact that he is injured due to the fact that he's been, as you say, doing bits on Raw, SmackDown, PLEs, commentary, promos. He's been helping out at NXT, something that he's been volunteering to do.
So they say it's hard to tell if that time on the contract can be extended as a result of this, because although he's not been wrestling, he has been working for WWE and enhancing their product.
He hasn't stopped at all. Thus far, say Fightful, we've heard that CM Punk has overcome the reputation that he had coming into WWE. Was there a reputation? I don't think we made a single video about it. And he's been very easy to deal with. One WWE source said that many of the promo lines thrown his way would have likely been an issue last year, but Punk has handled it well and knows that he's in the midst of a very hot angle.
He certainly is. So what I want him to do really is get that Bret Hart deal, the original offer, the 20-year WWE deal, and then start acting like a bell and then start punching people all over the shop. No, it's really good to hear, right? I've been like a pretty big... I've offered a lot of criticism on Punk and the way that certain things were dealt with, but the fact that everybody's bigging him up, and I think, a big part of it is that people are listening to him in WWE. The impression that we've got since his AEW departure is that some talent were willing to listen to Punk and follow his guidance, and the guy comes with a wealth of experience from the indies to major promotions. He wants to train people. He wants to impart his knowledge on the new generation of pro wrestlers. And we've heard some things saying that people weren't really paying as much attention as maybe they should have done, whereas he's going to NXT now, and one would assume backstage in WWE's main roster, and he maybe feels a little bit more valued as the experienced vet that he is.
And maybe the fact that he was kind of in AEW as a talent, which is probably why I want to do more than just be a talent, and he's being allowed to do that in WWE, which is probably helping his mood, one would think, certainly putting him in a better position, which is why he wants to stay there, because he wants to be a part of that backstage scenery.
You can see it happening, can't you? He still loves pro wrestling. You can tell. You can tell that he still adores wrestling. And WWE is a very, very different place now. The fact that we're talking about CM Punk being, from this point onwards, a WWE lifer is absolutely mental, isn't it?
Do you know what else is absolutely ridiculous to think about? The idea of WrestleMania coming to the United Kingdom.
It's going to happen by the looks of it. There was a press release issued yesterday. You would have seen it hit just after midnight. The Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, met with WWE President Nick Khan and WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Triple H Levesque in London to discuss their shared ambition of bringing WrestleMania to the capital. And they've since tweeted out that this has happened. They're making a big deal of it. Basically, the wheels are in motion for WrestleMania to come to London City.
Now, the Mayor of London pledged a task force back in April to bring more sports from North America to the city of London, and it includes WrestleMania. When this story came out, Triple H put out a tweet and went, "Hey, let's talk," and they are, and that's exactly what they did yesterday. Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, said, "I'm delighted to have met with WWE Hall of Famer Paul Triple H Levesque, not Hall of Famer, and WWE President Nick Khan today to discuss how we can work
yes,
to make..."
Yes, he is. DX. Thank you very much, sucker. He's done you in.
Hang on.
Wound you up like a kipper, geezer.
Liar. Fair point, well made. I shall donate my play button too. WWE President Nick Khan today has discussed with Triple H how to work to make London WrestleMania's first international destination, apart from Canada.
What?
WrestleMania was in Canada. That's international.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm not writing liar again.
Well, right, not liar. Okay, well
I'll write something else.
Pull one back.
London has great pedigree, see what you did there, in hosting the biggest international sporting events from around the globe, and I'm determined to cement our city's reputation as the undisputed, see what we did there, sports capital of the world, as we work together for a better London for everyone.
I mean, it's huge money, right? This is just going to be a massive money deal, but a sensible investment, one would assume, because the amount of revenue that it brings into the capital, or any city that hosts a WWE WWE live event. Sure, they might pay a few million to get them in there, but you see a lot more like income coming in from people traveling to the area and local residents going to these shows, spending a hard-earned dollar.
Big money to make. But let's not bury the lead, because there were photos taken of Sadiq Khan, Nick Khan, and Triple H, and they have presented the Mayor of London with what looks like the Sylvanian family's WWE Championship title.
Why have they done that?
Why is it so small?
I used to have this wristband thing, which was a WWE title. It looks like one of those. Did they not book hold luggage? Did they only have carry-ons? So I'll just get one of the little ones.
I feel like they forgot, so they ran to a gift shop. Oh God, get him some Haribo as well.
That's what they've done. They've stolen Jack Perry's bed. I'm going to get so much crap for this.
It's fine. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.